Hello, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat mula po dito sa Paris. Ito po si Sass Rogando Dismayado for the Motherland Vlog. Nandito po ako ngayon sa Paris dahil ako po yung nag-stop over dito kasi ang aking bus from Milan to The Hague ay dadaan dito sa Paris for a stopover. So, nandito muna ako sa aking friend na nakatira dito sa Paris. At, sandali, share ko lang yung aking video. Ito, mainit na mainit ngayon sa social media ang balitaktakan ng mga pro-federalism at mga doubtful sa federalism. Diba? Ang isa ngayon na mainit na nasagutan ay between Richard Heydarian and Orion. Nakakatuwa po kasi ngayon dito kay Heydarian. He actually told us to check out yung dalawang libro ng isang Nobel Prize winner sa economics na si Gunnar Myrdal. Sabi ni Richard Heydarian, basahin daw natin yung dalawa niyang libro na ibinigay, yung Economic Theory and Underdeveloped Regions at yung An American Dilemma, The Negro Problem and Modern Democracy. Sabi niya, ito raw, dalawang libro na ito, he must be parang gusto niya i-point out na itong dalawa ay magpapatunay na interstate competition doesn't necessarily create an optimal equilibrium. Tapos pinoint out niya tayo dito sa dalawang libro, di ba? Yung Economic Theory and Underdeveloped Regions saka An American Dilemma. Sabi niya, these are two must-reads by Nobel laureate economist Gunnar Myrdal, who proved that interstate competition doesn't necessarily create an optimal equilibrium. So inaano niya itong dalawang libro na ito about as an argument against federalism. Hi Richard, ewan ko bakit ganito tayo kalantarang ginagawang tanga ni Richard Heydarian. You know, yung An American Dilemma, The Negro Problem in Modern Democracy, this is a very classic book about race relations sa United States. Kaya nga nagtaka ako kung nakita ko ito na basahin daw natin ito para malaman natin ang arguments against federalism. Kasi An American Dilemma has nothing to do with federalism. You know, what's good about the internet is a lot ng mga libro noon, especially mga at least 50 years ago, even nga less the online copy can be seen, we can download the online copy. This is treasure trove for scholars like me, for researchers, yung archive.org. Luckily, yung An American Dilemma, the full copy ay makikita na natin sa archive.org. Ayan. Sandali, pakita ko sa inyo ha. So, ayan na siya. This is the American Dilemma. Ngayon, we're gonna take a quick look on this book para makita niyo yung sinasabi ko. So, sabi niya ni Richard Heydarian, this is about the implications of federalism. Okay. You know, one of the things that we've learned from our university is how to quickly do research. Kasi if you're a researcher, you're going to read lots of books. So how do you sift through the books that have, or readings that have something to do with your research or the research problem that you would like to tackle? Una-una, pupunta ka sa index. You know, yung nasa likod yung maraming names, di ba yan? Index. Tapos hahanapin mo yung mga terms na related dun sa gusto mong malaman. Like for example, si Heydarian, he would like to tell us na this book has something to do with how the implications of federalism. If this book is about that, magre-reflect iyon dito sa index. Yung index po kasi, this was made for the purpose of madali mong mahanap ng mga researchers yung kanyang mga hanap or ng mga tao madali niya mahanap yung mga topics na nandoon sa loob ng libro. Ito lang po and everything has got to do with federalism sa libro na ito. Okay. So, wait lang ha. At medyo mabagal So, ayan. Federal budget, Federal Council, Federal budget, Federal Council, Federal Emergency Relief Administration, Federal Home Loan Banks, Federal Housing Administration, Segregation Policy of Segregation in Federal Housing Administration, Federal Jobs, Negroes in Federal Jobs, Federal Land Banks, Federal Public Housing Authority, Federal Theater, Federal Writers Project. That's all. So if this book is about proving the implications of federalism, it would have been reflected sa index. Kasi, a good indexer, alam nyo, separate ang indexer ng isang libro, separate yung binabayaran. A good indexer would have included it there if it is a major topic of this book. No? The implications of federalism. Pero hindi, wala siya. So, what's our next goal? Pupunta ngayon tayo sa table of contents ng libro na to so that we could see what's the book, kung anong nilalaman ng libro na ito. So, balik ulit tayo dyan, ha? So, pupunta ngayon tayo sa table of contents. So, parang crash course na rin ito for researching, ha? So, we go to the table of contents. So, ito ang table of contents niya. Mahaba ang table. Ito, ha? Pakita ko sa inyo. So, ewan ko ba bakit tayo ginagago ni Heydarian, eh. We can easily disprove his claims by just, reading the book. Okay. So, ito ang ang contents. Of course, author's preface, the Negro problem as a moral issues, valuations and beliefs, a white man's problem, not an isolated problem, some further notes on the scope and discretion of this study, a warning to the reader. The approach, American ideals and American conscience, unity of ideals and diversity of culture, blah, blah, blah. Babasahin ko na lang yung mga main headings. Encountering the Negro problem on the minds of the whites, blah, 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 the North and the South. Ito. Chapter 8. Wait. The next page. Facets of the Negro problem. American minority problems. The anti-amalgamation, the white man's theory of color caste, the rank order of discrimination, blah, 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 a theory of democracy, the theory of the vicious circle. Tapos race, racial beliefs, race and ancestry, racial characteristics. Tapos sa population and migration, population. Tapos, migration, economic inequality. Pupunta tayo sa chapter 9 mamaya. Kasi yan yung ito yung main thesis ni Migdal about this book. Our main hypothesis, yung the vicious circle. Titingnan natin kung what this book is really about mamaya. So, the tradition of slavery, the southern plantation economy, and the Negro farmer. New blows to southern agriculture during the 30s, trends and policies. Seeking jobs outside agriculture, the Negro in business, the professions, public service and other white-collar occupations, the Negro in the public economy, income, consumption, and housing. Chapter 17, the mechanics of economic discrimination as practical problem. Tapos, next chapter, justice, inequality of justice, the police and other public contacts, court sentences and prisons, violence and intimidation. Tapos sa part 7, the basis of social inequality, patterns of social segregation and discrimination. Ang haba, di ba? Pero, you will not see anything here about federalism. What is this book about? Diba? What is this book about? Is this about how federalism, is this an argument against federalism? No. So anong argument dito? Puntahan natin yung chapter, ano bang chapter yon? Chapter 9. Sandali. Habang hinahanap ko. Pupuntahan ngayon natin yung chapter na kung saan nandoon in-outline ni Migdal, ng author na ito, kung anong gusto niyang patunayan sa libro na ito. Diba? Is this about what Heydarian is trying to claim na an argument against federalism? We will see. We will see. Sandali, titingnan ko lang po kung ano po yung page. It is actually page... Okay, wait lang po Okay, it's actually nasa page, starting from page 205. So I'm gonna go to page 205 para makita nyo. Okay, that's page 467. Page, okay, I'm near. Okay, so I am now on page 205. Ang ano po kasi niya dito, ang gustong patunayan dito ni Migdal is yung vicious cycle na kung saan yung mga black people ay nakakulong. So ano yung theory ng vicious cycle ni Migdal? Okay, just give me a moment, ha? Ayan, nawala. Ayan. Kaya nga, nagugulat ako dito kay Heydarian. Patalino naman siya. He knows, how can he do this to us? Na ginagawa niya tayong tanga. Diba? Bakit niya ginagawa niyang tanga yung mga tao? Ang dali-dali namang ma-verify nung pinagsasabi niya. Tapos lantaran niya tayong ginagawang tanga. Diba? Why? What's the purpose? Ito, nahanap ko na po siya. So, ito ang main hypothesis ng librong ito. So, palalakihan ko lang para makita ninyo. So, this is the main hypothesis. Diba? Our main hypothesis, the vicious circle. Ito yung gustong patunayan ngayon dito ni Migdal sa libro na ito. Yung kanyang vicious circle. Sabi niya, babasahin ko, there is a cultural and institutional tradition that white people exploit. Yan. That white people exploit Negroes. So, Negroes pa nga yung tawag niya doon sa mga black people noon. Kasi Negro is not really a offensive term. Well, it became offensive when people starting raising that, it's better to call them black than Negroes. So, Negroes. In the beginning, the Negroes were owned as property. When slavery disappeared, caste remained. Within this framework of adverse tradition, the average Negro in every generation has had a most disadvantageous start. So, sabi niya, because of this tradition of slavery, mga black people, mga Negroes, from the beginning, meron na silang disadvantageous start. Discrimination against Negroes is thus rooted in this tradition of economic exploitation. So, Migdal pointed out yung economic exploitation ng mga whites against blacks. Tapos, it is justified by the false racial beliefs we studied in Chapter 4. Ngayon, itong economic exploitation kasi, sabi ni Migdal, this was caused by yung racial beliefs noon na white are superior and blacks are inferior. So, therefore, the economic exploitation is justified. So, yun yung naging sanhi ng slavery. This depreciation of the Negro's potentialities is given a semblance of proof by the low standards of efficiency, reliability, ambitions, and morals actually displayed by the average Negro. So, this is what the white man sees, and he opportunistically exaggerates what he sees. He knows that the Negro is not capable of handling a machine, running a business, or learning a profession. As we know that these deficiencies are not inborn in him, or in any case, in no significant degree, we must conclude that they are caused directly or indirectly by the very poverty we are trying to explain, and by other discriminations in legal protection, public health, housing, education, in every other sphere of life. So, yon. So, sinabi niya, ito pong itong kalagayan ng mga Negroes, hindi ito inborn. They were put there in place, especially by the racialist beliefs ng mga white people noon na Migdal discussed in Chapter 4. Ngayon, dahil nga ganito nag-start ang mga Negro, meron siya sinabi dito na very telling. Ito ay nasa dulo. The same type of vicious circle controls the situation for the poverty-stricken Negroes outside of cotton agriculture. Poverty itself breeds the conditions which perpetuate poverty. So, di ba yung mga Negro yung mga Negro, hindi sila nag-own ng property dahil yung traditional slavery, they were treated as property. They cannot own property. Di ba? They're owned as property. Ngayon, they already started as poor. Diba? They already started as poor. Because of the economic exploitation sa kanila ng mga white people. Now, because dahil economically exploited sila, the black people live in lives of poverty. Because they live in life of poverty, they cannot improve, they do not have the essential tools para to improve themselves. Especially, there was massive discrimination during that time, especially during the time that Mignal wrote this book. This was written in the 1950s. May segregation pa niyan. Diba? Meron pang, it's very unthinkable during the time that you would have a Condoleezza Rice as Secretary of State, or Obama as president. It was unthinkable for them to have these powerful black people occupying positions of influence. So dahil economically exploited na sila because of traditional slavery, when mahaba yung catch-up nila compared to the white people, so ang nangyayari, they are stuck in this vicious circle. Na this is my skill because of the circumstances I am in. Ngayon, pag nakikita ngayon ako ng white people, hindi siya masyadong matalino, ganyan. So, masasabi ng mga white people, mga black talaga, hindi magaling. Kaya naman sila na hindi naging magaling because of this vicious circle that they're stuck in. Dahil gano'n yung iniisip, may prejudice na gano'n yung white people, black people are marginalized. And because they're marginalized, they live in a life of poverty, they cannot improve themselves a lot to catch up against white people. And dahil gano'n, yung white people would see na, black are really inferior than white people because they cannot do this, they cannot do this. But in reality, the reason why that's the case is not because of the color of their skin, but because of the circumstance na nakita nila yung sarili nila. So this is the main argument of this book. It has nothing to do with how federalism would not lead to a good interstate competition. So, bakit tayo ginagawang tanga ni Heydarian? Ang linaw-linaw naman, we can always read the book. Diba? Ito naman sa Heydarian, give us something naman na magandang argument against federalism. Don't use something na hindi naman related. That's why I'm really disappointed with you. Diba? You are also a scholar. And how can you commit this blunder at gagawin mo pa kaming tanga? Diba? Ginagawa mo kaming tanga sa ginagawa mo Richard So, ako Richard, back to the drawing board. Read again The American Dilemma. And then, argue. Diba? Argue how this book is against federalism. Get some textual support, Richard, to your arguments, to your position from this book. Huwag mo lang kaming batuhin ng mga titles na sinulat ito ng Nobel laureate, etc. No. Quote directly from the book, including the page number so that we can look it up and see whether you're justified in quoting it. And then, doon tayo magpo-proceed. Huwag mo lang kaming bigyan ng libro and then expect na we will not read it and find out na niloloko mo lang kami. Diba? So, yun lang, Richard. I hope na huwag mo na itong uulitin, no? Nakakahiya. Salamat po.